Welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today with us. Welcome to our Facebook Live, first ever Facebook Live. So for those of you who has been with us through our workshops, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. We will wait for Alia to turn on her camera. Thank you very much for being here this afternoon with us. It's our first session of an afternoon with Alia. Reason why we do this is we are trying to find different ways to support our community, our parents and teachers who has been with us throughout. And we hope that this Facebook Live will cheer you up on a Wednesday afternoon. Right, thank you very much for being here this afternoon once again. I would like to do a quick introduction of who we are, what we do, for those of you who are first time here joining us on Facebook Live or who has never been to any of our free workshops. Yeah, so right, a quick introduction of who we are. My story, we are actually a pusat latihan for kanak-kanak berkeperluan khas. We work with children with special needs. We work with parents and educators who would like to support children with special needs. We are a multidisciplinary team, so you will see a lot of services available under our umbrella because we believe that having a comprehensive approach, multi-level approach towards our children will be able to support them in a more holistic manner rather than sending to just occupational therapists and they have their own goal, and then we have the same child going to another different behavior therapist who has a different set of goals. Ultimately, we want to tie in all the goals together so that our child can grow and the progress that we get to see on their development get to move faster. Yeah, so I'll quickly introduce our services. We do have academic support. So for children who are actually in school, they may have struggles coping in a school environment. So we do academic support in that manner, where we support them in learning strategies, in teaching them how to cope with the changes. And on top of that, we also have classroom readiness. So for children who are ready to learn, but struggle in a bigger classroom environment, where they are expected to sit down and listen to teachers and be able to do work independently, learning their own coping mechanism when they feel stressed or when they're tired, asking for permission. So those are all covered under academic support. Then, of course, we can't leave behind behavior management, primarily to target at generally younger children who struggles managing behaviors, right? So that's where our behavior team comes in. And then we talk about classroom readiness. Then we have counseling and guidance. We do have Charlie, who are our full-time counselor here, who support parents or caregivers to provide information as well as resources and ultimately free planning to guide our parents who maybe they're not sure what to do next. They may be like, I think my child needs help, but I do not know where to go. Right? So feel free to talk to us, or even her parents who already got diagnosis from doctors and doctors prescribe a plan like, your child needs this, and they're not sure where to go and what to do. Feel free to come and talk to us as well. You do not need to subscribe to our services in order to get that consultation and planning session. Whether or not ultimately you sign up with us, that's secondary, but we do want to provide that services for parents as well. And Charlie will be able to guide you to plan on a short-term, medium-term, and long-term basis, to look into your financials, to look into your family support, to look into all your other needs. Yeah, because your child stays with you the longest. Yeah, so as a family, you all need to come together in order to support the children better, right? Next, we have diagnosis and assessment. We do have an in-house clinical psychologist who provide diagnosis. So if you need one, right? You haven't got one for your child and you think you may want to need one, come. Hi, Charlie. Welcome. You can help answer questions if there's any on the Facebook Live. Where is that? Oh, diagnosis assessment. Yeah, so we do have clinical psychologists on board. So if you do need one, do feel free to get in touch with us. And of course, we can't get away from occupational therapy. That's where Alia comes in. Yeah, Alia is going to start her an afternoon with Alia. For now, we are planning on Wednesdays, probably once a month, to just share some OT related information and skills and whatnot with all of you. Okay, then what else? Then we have physical therapy. So we have children who requires more support on physical, on muscle development, on postures. That's where our physiotherapy comes in. And then we have reading therapy, generally focusing on getting children to read. So for children, even with learning difficulties, they can come in. Children who require support in not just about reading, but also comprehension. So this reading therapy will be able to support these children as well. And finally, speech and language therapy. I don't think I need to explain a lot on this. So your speech and language. But ultimately, what we want is provide a comprehensive, all-rounded services for our parents. Doesn't mean that you engage with us, I don't know, say a behavior therapy, you can't talk to us about OT, or you can't talk about your issues that you have at home in a way. Yeah, we are here. The whole reason of having this team is to support you in your journey, being a parent with children with special needs, or even teachers who work with children with special needs. So we work with various parties, from parents to kindergartens to teachers to therapists for that matter. If you need support, feel free to get in touch with us. Right? So before I move on, I would like to introduce Alia. Okay, Alia is our in-house occupational therapist. She actually recently just joined us. Before this, she was working with another center focusing on occupational therapists, but she found a passion wanting to work with children with special needs. So she graduated from UITM with Bachelor of Occupational Therapy. And probably a quick hello from Alia to everyone out there. Alia, say hi.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
All right.
Thank
So,
you.
what do you want to say? Anything to?
Yeah, I want to say thank you for inviting me for this session today.
Yeah, and our session, we want to keep it casual. So
Yeah.
we do Malaysian style, okay? We do English,
Okay.
we do Bahasa, we do whatever language that comes to our mind. If there's anything that you are not familiar with, feel free to ask us. There is a link that is running on the video there. We do have Alia has actually taken the liberty to actually compile a very brief information about sensory processing disorder. So if you would like those slides information, do fill in your details, and then we'll be sending it over to you maybe by tomorrow or day after. Just to thank you for spending an afternoon with us today. Okay, so Alia, over to you. What exactly is sensory processing disorder?
Okay, so before we start, what is the sensory processing disorder? We need to know what is the sensory. Sensory is any relating of the sense that our body receive either from external or internal stimuli. That's the important thing lah. So as yang macam kita tahu, actually sensory ni ada 5 basic sense, which is sentuhan, dari rasa, dari hidu, dari mendengar dan juga dari melihat. Tapi kita akan go into the depth about the sensory processing disorder. Okay?
Right. Sure. So you want to start your introduction?
Yeah, sure, can.
Yeah.
So, the definition of sensory processing disorder is a condition how your brain to interpret or to process the stimuli that they receive from outside or internal input. So, based on Dr. Miller, before this, Dr. Iris ada buat classification mengenai sensory integration dysfunction. Tapi disebabkan terlalu banyak terms yang digunakan, so Dr. Miller telah menggunakan konsep yang sama daripada Dr. Iris untuk classifykan kepada 3 bahagian, which is sensory modulation disorder, sensory discrimination disorder and sensory based motor disorder. So, kita akan explain satu persatu mengenai sensory modulation, sensory discrimination and sensory based motor disorder. Okay. So, can we continue for the definition of sensory modulation disorder? Okay. Sensory modulation disorder is how your child to respond towards the stimulations, towards the stimuli that they receive. So from the sensory modulation disorder, it have 3 types, which is sensory over responsivity ataupun kita kenali sebagai hyperactive. Dan sensory under responsivity kita kenali sebagai hypoactive and sensory craving. Okay, kita sensory modulation ni kan kita dah define sebagai how your child respond to the stimuli. So kita kena tahu juga apa itu hyperactive, hypoactive dan sensory craving. So sensory overreactivity ni adalah when the child receive overload of the sensory input. That's itu yang menyebabkan seseorang kanak-kanak tu dia jadi ada refusal ataupun avoiding pada sesuatu sensory input. Contohnya lah, ada budak yang dia tak suka pegang certain texture. Contohnya dia tak suka texture yang melekit, sticky texture yang ataupun yang dirty texture, yang kotor punya. That's the sign that the child might have hyperactive on the tactile sensation. Okay. Then we go to the sensory under responsivity, which is hyposensitive. That means the child doesn't get enough sensory input ataupun does not respond to the stimuli. Contohnya, bila ada budak dia tak aware pun dengan keadaan sekeliling atau keadaan diri dia. Dia tak aware yang tangan dia dah terlalu kotor ataupun tangan dia dah ada comot-comot dekat muka. Itu adalah sensory under responsivity. And another one type is sensory craving, which is the child is crave towards the sensation. Dia nak sensation tu. Contohnya, ada budak yang jenis suka dalam position upside down. That is the sensory craving. Ataupun ada budak yang jenis suka spinning around. Biasa kita nampak kan budak-budak yang suka berpusing-pusing macam tu. That means they might have a sensory craving towards their vestibular, towards their tactile, maybe towards their proprioception like that.
Right. Cool.
Okay. Next, the second classification. Sensory discrimination disorder adalah how the child to discriminate the sensation that they receive. Okay, we have 8 sensation actually. The basic one is visual, which is deria melihat. Macam mana budak tu nak lihat kepada sesuatu benda lah. Tapi itu tak ada kena mengena dengan kalau budak tu adalah blindness. Blindness dan deafness macam tu adalah disorder yang lain. Dia tak ada kena mengena dengan sensory processing ni. Okay, yang kedua adalah auditory, which is deria mendengar. Macam mana dia nak discriminate, dia dengar kepada sesuatu benda. How they discriminate, is it terlalu kuat dia boleh tahan tak, atau terlalu slow dia boleh dengar tak, macam tu. And another one is olfactory. Okay, this one biasanya dekat hospital kita akan dengar lah olfactory, gustatory, something like that. Tapi in a layman term, it means deria bau, deria menghidu. So yang itu kita nak tahu macam mana budak tu ada bau tak pada, contohnya kita try kopi pada dia. Budak tu boleh bau kopi tak? Kopi tu bau dia macam mana? Dia boleh describe tak macam mana? Itulah maksudnya olfactory. For gustatory adalah deria rasa. Macam mana budak tu dapat merasa kepada sesuatu jenis makanan. Contohnya mungkin dia boleh feel manis, pahit, masin, something yang berkaitan dengan benda macam itulah. So dia boleh discriminate. Another one is a tactile, which is deria sentuhan. Deria sentuhan ni macam kita sentuh kepada satu tekstur, then dia tahu, oh kain ni lembut, oh kain ni kain jenis silk macam tu. So dia tahu itu adalah sentuhan. Okay, berdasarkan Dr. Iris, dia ada tambahan 3 lagi sensory yang terlibat dalam sensory dysfunction, which is proprioceptive, tactile and vestibular. Tactile macam yang saya terangkan tadi lah. Yang kedua adalah proprioceptive, which is how the child, what is the ability of the child to aware towards their body function. So that's why maksudnya macam mana budak tu boleh aware dengan body joint dia. Contoh macam waktu dia nak berjalan, seseorang berjalan dia takkan tengok kaki dia waktu dia berjalan, betul? So that means dia tahu, oh joint kaki dia akan bergerak begini dan begini untuk dia berjalan. That is a proprioception. For the vestibular side adalah how the child to control the balance, motion or body position. That means vestibular ni dia ada satu sistem. Sistem tu berada di dalam kita punya inner ear punya bahagian. That's called as a vestibular labyrinth. So sistem ni akan control kita punya body balance. So macam contohnya masa kita nak berjalan, kita kena pastikan badan kita dalam keadaan tegak dan tak lembek untuk jatuh. So that's mean how your body control your balance during your walking, like that. So and the last sensory is interoception. This one the recent research from occupational therapy yang ada dekat luar negara. Diorang telah buat research which is interoception ni berkaitan dengan proses body sense signal. Contohnya yang interoception ni dia berkaitan dengan dalaman kita. Contoh budak tu berasa lapar atau kita rasa lapar. So macam mana kita nak tahu kita lapar sebenarnya? So kita tahu kita lapar tu melalui input atau signal yang diberikan oleh perut dan dihantar ke brain, dan brain akan transmit dan kita akan respon, oh kita lapar, kita kena makan. That's one is interoception. So kita boleh pergi yang ketiga punya bahagian, iaitu sensory based disorder. Based motor disorder, sorry. That one missing one word.
Sorry.
So this part ada 2, which is dyspepsia and postural disorder. Dyspepsia ni adalah difficulty for the child to perform the action. Contohnya kan, kita nak bagi budak tu pakai stokin. Dia tahu yang benda tu adalah stokin dan dia tahu stokin tu pakai di kaki, tapi dia tak tahu macam mana nak initiate pakai stokin. So that's one is dyspepsia. Dia tak tahu nak initiate the movement. So dia akan berlakulah clumsiness, poor coordination ataupun mungkin ada problem dengan sequencing task. So akan berlaku macam tu. Types yang kedua adalah postural disorder, yang mana budak ni akan mengalami masalah untuk control the postural. Contohnya untuk coordination movement, untuk crossing midline. That's the reason itu adalah dinamakan sebagai postural disorder. So contoh untuk postural disorder ni, contohnya budak tu dia nak menulis. So kalau dia nak boleh menulis, dia kena tahu crossing midline. Crossing midline adalah daripada belah kanan kita pergi ke kiri. This one is a crossing midline. So budak takkan, yang dia ada problem ni, dia akan tulis satu bahagian saja, which is one side lah dia akan fokus. Macam tu.
Right. So having all this sensory processing disorder, right? Why is it important? Like, because when you talk about dyspraxia, you talk about children, you look at, for example, a typical kindergarten can, they will have activity like even I remember when my daughter went to kindergarten, there's an activity where they get to taste like the bitter, sweet, spicy, and sour. They have activities where they have physical activities outdoor. So why is this sensory processing important for our children?
This sensory processing disorder very very important, sebabnya dia ada dua sebab kenapa sensory ni penting. Satu adalah disebabkan untuk kita teruskan survive kehidupan, dan yang kedua adalah untuk selamatkan dia daripada danger. So contohlah kalau budak tu tak ada sensory, how they know they will falling down? Macam mana dia tahu yang dia akan rasa sakit, ataupun macam mana dia tahu tangan dia kotor? That's why pentingnya sensory ni. Selain daripada itu, sensory processing disorder ni penting untuk kanak-kanak, untuk dia capai target dia untuk perform occupational daily living, which is untuk perform dia punya aktiviti daily living lah, macam pakai baju, menulis, belajar, semua tu diperlukan sensory ni. Selain daripada itu, if the child ada kekurangan sensory, certain sensory part, there may be cause refusal for the child to perform the activity. Selain tu juga, kanak-kanak itu juga mungkin akan influence negative skill development, termasuk juga dia limited dia punya self-confidence and self-esteem. For the communication dengan social skill juga akan jadi limited bila dia kurangnya sensory input, menyebabkan dia rasa dia tak boleh bergaul dengan kawan-kawan yang sebaya dengan dia. So, untuk kita tahu, sebenarnya sensory processing disorder ni adalah penting kita kena review balik pada pyramid of learning. Okay. Untuk kita tengok pyramid of learning, kita ada 4 pecahan, 4 level lah maksudnya. Development yang pertama adalah dia kena develop sensory system, dan yang kedua adalah sensory motor development. Yang ketiga yang ketiga adalah perceptual motor development, and yang terakhir adalah cognitive intellect punya development. So, sensory ni it's developed melalui central nervous system and juga peripheral nervous system. So that part akan membantu perkembangan kanak-kanak dalam sensory system. So, untuk kita capai the upper part of the pyramid, which is the cognitive intellect, kanak-kanak tu perlukan base yang kukuh. Base yang kukuh adalah bahagian sensory system. Kalau kita ada nampak piramid yang ditunjukkan oleh Ciling, kita nampak bahagian bawah adalah sensory system yang ada olfactory, visual, perception, proprioception, vestibular, semua tu. So untuk kukuhkan bahagian bawah tu, kita perlukan banyak aktiviti ataupun exposekan kanak-kanak tersebut pada sensory activity. So kita bagi contoh lah untuk lengkapkan satu piramid ni. Contohnya kita nak goal anak kita tu boleh menulis. Okay, untuk dia menulis, kita perlukan dia punya tactile sensation, vestibular sensation, visual, auditory, termasuk juga proprioception. Sebab apa? Sebabnya kalau kita nak menulis, kita perlu rasa kertas tersebut, betul? Kita juga perlu melihat tulisan dan juga kita ada posisi duduk yang betul masa kita nak menulis. That's why benda-benda dalam sensory system tu sangat-sangat penting. Kalau contoh, budak tu kekurangan input vestibular, which is dia tak boleh balance dia punya badan. Macam mana dia nak menulis dalam keadaan duduk dengan yang betul? Mesti dia akan meniarap ke, ataupun dia boleh duduk sekejap sangat, tak sampai pun 5 minit macam tu. So dia akan ganggu dia punya performance untuk menulis.
So when you talk about pyramid of learning, right? Like in occupational therapy perspective, right? So
Okay.
for example, I have a child. Okay lah, let's talk about your example of not able to write. Okay, so the mom come and then feedback to us, say that, oh, my child, handwriting is all over the place and then cannot write within lines. So does she need to start from like just now what you said, tactile, visual, and vestibular and proprioception? Do all of that first before moving up to like being able to write.
Okay, kalau daripada segi perspektif occupational therapy, it maybe akan start, kita akan check dulu dia punya sensory. Kita akan buat screening sensory melalui assessment. Daripada situ kita tahu, oh mungkin budak ni tak ada masalah dari segi sensory, tapi mungkin dia ada masalah dari segi sensory motor development. Sebab dalam sensory motor development adanya body posture ataupun apa lagi yang ada tu saya tak berapa ingat pula.
Yes, motor planning, ability to screen input, reflect,
yes.
Awareness of two sides of body means what? Right and left?
Sorry?
Awareness of two sides of body.
Yes. That's why dia tahu ada kiri dan kanan. Kita ada dua side lah, kiri dengan kanan. Because some of the child, mungkin kalau kita perasan dia aja tulis satu bahagian which is sebelah kanan sahaja ke atau sebelah kiri sahaja, dia akan neglect lagi satu bahagian.
Okay.
So
does it matter whether the child is right-handed or left-handed then?
That's one
doesn't matter.
No matter. Cuma kita nak tahu dia boleh tulis sebelah, adakah dia akan tulis crossing the midline, sebab the normal person akan tulis crossing midline.
Crossing midline means what?
Crossing midline means kita tulis daripada kiri ke kanan atau kanan ke kiri. So that means satu page tu kan kita akan tulislah memanjang macam tu. That means the crossing midline.
Right. So earlier on you also mentioned about when a child has sensory issue, you may end up with them not doing certain activity. Right? So what does it got to do with, how do we know when a child, because not doing activity can mean a lot of things for children, you see. One, maybe because they don't like to do the activity. Two, maybe because they don't want to follow instruction. Three, maybe because behavior, I don't know. So how do we then know, how do we then know that, oh, this should be addressed by an occupational therapist?
Oh, kalau yang, if like you see the child like that, maybe we need to check back. Maksudnya kita track balik sama ada memang budak tu betul-betul tak suka pada aktiviti yang kita bagi, ataupun dia ada sensory issue. Untuk kita tahu semua tu, kita kena tengok pada frekuensi dia, pada sama ada benda yang dia buat tu adalah voluntary ataupun involuntary, sama ada dia memang akan tiba-tiba over excited pada sesuatu benda. So untuk kita tengok pada bahagian tu, kita cuba fokus pada dia punya bahagian sensory. Kita test dulu dia punya sensory. Daripada certain test tu baru kita boleh tahu apa bahagian yang kekurangan pada dia.
Right. So does it mean that in order to do an OT assessment, it requires a long time?
Normally is take a little bit time, tapi depends on the child lah. Biasanya kalau budak tu dia mempunyai masalah yang memang kita dah tahu, contohlah autism memang kita tahu dia akan ada masalah dengan dari segi sensory. So yang itu kita perlu correct lagi, kita perlu go into depth untuk tahu either the child maybe ada problem with the sensation ataupun dia memang refusal that task because he doesn't like that task macam tu. So kita kena tengok dulu melalui assessment. So untuk kita tahu semua benda ni, kita sebagai parents ataupun sebagai teacher memang perlu buat satu checklist ataupun check your child, dia punya performance ataupun dia punya, kita kena observe dia punya behavior macam tu. So untuk kita dapatkan untuk kita check dia punya behavior, kita kena tengok dia punya frekuensi dia. Contohnya, berapa kerap dia akan lakukan benda yang sama dalam masa sehari. Itu yang kita nak tahu. Biasanya lah kalau budak-budak normal, dia contohnya dia baru nak explore satu benda, dia just explore that thing for one time in a day. Dia tak akan explore berkali-kali dalam sehari. So that's one trigger point yang kita kena tahu. Selepas tu, yang kedua kita kena tengok intensity dia, sama ada dia refuse tak. Bila kita pujuk untuk buat satu benda tu, dia refuse ataupun tak. Sebab kalau budak yang ada sensory processing disorder atau sensory issue, dia akan stuck pada satu situation sahaja. So contohnya kita pujuk dia, jomlah kita main benda lain. Oh, dia tak akan pergi, dia tak akan layan pun kita. Macam tu. Sebab dia dah dalam dunia dia dengan main benda tu. Lepas tu yang ketiga adalah duration. Biasanya kalau kita nak tengok budak tu ada sensory issue, duration yang diambil untuk alih dia punya attention tu akan ambil masa yang sangat lama. Contohlah, saya bagi contoh budak yang dia ada sensory pada pendengaran, dia macam suka sangat pada bunyi washing machine. So budak yang suka pada bunyi tu, dia macam sesuatu yang pelik. Tapi kalau budak baru nak dengar bunyi tu, dia akan dengar sekali dan dia akan okay, that's it, bye. Dia akan pergi tempat lain. Tapi kalau budak yang ada sensory, dia akan nak dengar benda tu setiap masa kalau boleh dalam sehari. Ataupun mungkin dia akan ambil masa macam kita nak ajak dia main benda lain sangat-sangat susah dan dia akan refuse untuk participate dengan benda tu. Itu yang kita boleh detect, oh mungkin budak ni ada masalah sensory. Okay, kita boleh check yang lain. Mungkin kita check melalui texture ataupun kita check melalui lighting. Kita tengok dia suka ke tak light yang terang ke, light yang terlalu gelap ke, dia suka macam mana. So sebelum kita continue pada topik yang lain kan, saya nak adalah satu video saya nak tunjuk kenapa pentingnya sensory pyramid of learning tadi.
Okay.
Silin boleh tolong tunjuk?
Wait I've never actually played video before. Don't know even whether that will work out or not. Wait, give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Then while I go get the video, I want to ask, like, for example, when should parents be really worried? Like you said, you know, for example, I remembered when I first bring my daughter to the beach, right? Then generally we walk on the beach. Right, and we walk barefoot, right? So, but for her, she refused the moment her leg touches ground. How should I put it? She refused.
Dia akan angkat kaki dia lah macam tu.
She refused to do that, and then that entire trip we were there for, I think, 3 days, 2 nights. The entire trip she refused to walk on the beach. Okay. So should I be worried? You know, because it's about at what point in time I really need to send my daughter for, you know, for assessment, or, you know, in a way that I should be worried about.
Okay. Kalau macam tu, biasanya kita akan tengok dulu either the child dia memang betul-betul ada sensory issue ataupun sebenarnya dia tak explore pun lagi. Contohnya kalau budak tu masih kecil dan kita tak pernah langsung bawa dia pergi ke tanah ataupun taman permainan yang ada tanah ataupun pasir, maksudnya pantai, maybe that child tak pernah explore, so dia tak tahu pun apa rasa pasir tu sebenarnya. So kita cuba, kalau macam tu kita just cuba je dulu untuk lalukan pasir tu dekat kaki dia. So they know how the feel, what is the texture of the sand macam tu. Tapi kalau contohnya memang dia ada sensory issue, kita akan nampak budak ni memang akan avoid untuk certain times. Contohnya sepatutnya budak umur 5 tahun, dia dah boleh dah nak pijak tanah semua. Tapi disebabkan dia mungkin ada sensory issue, dia umur 5 tahun tu pun masih tak nak pijak tanah. That's the mean lah. Kita kena tengok pada development level dia. Contohnya macam budak sepatutnya boleh berjalan pada usia 12 bulan contohnya. Dan tapi pada usia 3 tahun dia masih tak reti berjalan. That's mean dah ada delay yang terlalu lama untuk dia. So kita dah perlu risau lah.
So is 5-year-old a cut off? Like, you know, when by 5 something's not happening, I should be worried. Or, you know, if it's 3, she doesn't like, I can live with it until she's 5.
Actually cannot be like that because kita dah sampai umur 5 tahun tu, itu dah terlalu masa yang agak lama untuk budak tu explore. That's why kalau kita tengok kan dekat situation dekat luar negara, diorang akan explore anak diorang tu daripada baby lagi. Daripada kecil, paling maksimum pun dalam umur 2 atau 3 tahun, budak tu dah boleh explore pelbagai benda. Pelbagai tekstur dan rasa semua dia dah tahu. So daripada situ kita tahu yang mungkin budak ni punya sensory input ada yang tak cukup ataupun ada yang terlebih. Kita depends on, biasanya kita akan check melalui developmental assessment lah. Kita akan tengok macam mana dia punya perkembangan dia.
Okay, so still need to go back to the developmental assessment lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interestingly, I can't find that screen. Never mind. Let me try this. I need to share some. Okay. Let me see. Cause the video screen is on, tapi I cannot share.
Cannot play.
So wait. Let me see what you see. Oh, okay. You do get to see, but. But I can't move that thing. Okay, wait.
You
Sorry.
just click the video.
Give me a minute to play that video. Okay.
My head tells me to stop, but my heart goes bum 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 bum. 'Cause my heart goes bum 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 bum. Oh.
Okay.
Yes. So from the video kita tahu yang budak tu telah capai dia punya goal iaitu untuk menulis.
Oh.
Tapi semua tu adalah bermula daripada dia perlu strength dia punya hand strength, dia perlu kuatkan dia punya core muscle, dia perlu ada sensory input yang cukup dan juga dia perlu ada eye hand coordination yang bagus. Daripada situ baru budak tu boleh menulis sebenarnya.
So there's actually a lot more involved with just about holding hands.
Yes.
And what pincer grips that grabs always people talk about. So, okay.
For a normal people, kita rasa pegang pencil is like pegang dan tulis.
Yeah,
tapi sebenarnya
how difficult can that be?
Yes, it can be a lot of things kita kena discover.
Right. So if you're talking about developmental, we did, I think in one of our earlier workshop when Serene covered, we talked about developmental checklists, right? And I believe that occupational therapists, when you all do an assessment, you also use some form of developmental checklist, right?
Yeah.
So what's the difference? The general one, like, okay, so for parent who has a copy of the development checklist, they do a development checklist, they realize that, there's this part that is missing for my child. Do they what do they do then? Like, you know, I mean, for us, it's quite easy because you're there, right?
Yes.
Alia.
That's what you need to do.
That's like, you know, a phone call away, right? But for typical parents, when they are concerned, because especially for first time parents, because everything is new.
Yep.
And we know that there are some parents who are like, yeah, don't worry lah. We have those nannies or grandparents who say, yeah, don't worry lah. You also don't know how to do until you are like 5. You know, so do we worry? Do we not worry? You know, with this on this day and age, right? What would you tell parents?
Okay, if like that's the situation, usually maybe kita perlu worry lah because kanak-kanak start masuk sekolah sekarang ni pada usia seawal 3 tahun. So seharusnya dia kena ada perkembangan yang sepatutnya dia achieve berdasarkan pada usia dia. Tapi because sekarang ni kan kita dah ada banyak source, kita dah boleh review daripada internet, daripada research yang ada. So kita dah boleh dapatkan knowledge tu. Oh, kita kena precaution dengan situation macam ni, atau kita kena tengok development anak kita ni dah macam mana, dah terlalu lewat ataupun belum. If too late, sometimes akan ambil masa yang lama untuk budak tu adjust balik dengan new environment, new activity macam tu. So suggestion for parents memang digalakkan untuk cuba untuk dapatkan resource yang daripada sumber yang sepatutnya dan get more knowledge about the sensory input ataupun about the development their child macam tu.
Right. So because now all MCO, right, we're still stuck at home. Right, parents also got time at home now with the children. What are some activities you can, you know, propose and tell parents that, you know, something that they can do at home with their children?
Actually kan, kalau dekat rumah, parents ni sebenarnya banyak betul dia boleh buat. Salah satu contohnya lah, kalau contoh dia duduk rumah apartmen dan tak ada pun tanah untuk dia bermain. So dia boleh ajak anak dia main dekat tangga. Walaupun kita nampak itu satu benda yang bahaya, tapi sebenarnya dekat tangga ni akan bagi perkembangan pada mereka. Because dia akan kuatkan dia punya muscle, core muscle. Lepas tu dia akan bagi vestibular input, which is dia akan tahu macam mana nak control balance dia masa naik tangga. Sebab ada certain budak yang pernah saya jumpa, umur dah nak masuk sekolah rendah, darjah 1 lah. I mean dia maybe dah 5-6 tahun macam tu, tapi dia still takut untuk naik tangga. Because maybe that one, satu parents dia terlalu manjakan dia dan tak explorekan dia pada pada tangga. Atau maybe because the child ada fear of falling dekat tangga yang menyebabkan dia dah ada experience sebelum ni dan dia takut.
So you actually encourage children, of course, I believe when you encourage children to walk on the tangga, please take safety precaution lah.
Yes.
Don't
safety
just
precaution
there, you walk away. Okay, so that's interesting. You know, mine got tangga because most parents will, I think,
use the lift lah.
Like,
dukung
you cannot play at the staircase. Yeah. Okay. What else?
Other than staircase kan, contohnya kita ada barang masakan dekat rumah. Kita ada whipping cream atau kita ada flour. Kita gunakan benda-benda macam tu, kita ajak mereka main messy play. Contohnya kita sembunyikan toys atau kita sembunyikan alfabet dalam tu dan kita play lah dengan dia, kita suruh mereka cari balik benda tu yang telah disembunyikan. Ataupun kita macam, wow, what is this? You can touch this one, you can see it's have a colourful colours, ataupun you can touch it, macam tu. Contoh kita boleh guna lah foam, flour ataupun mud kalau ada. Anything, you can use anything in your house. Termasuk juga kita kalau nak ajar anak kita satu benda benda yang menarik sikit, kita gunakan, kita ajar mereka main music instrument. Sebab music instrument ni salah satu cara untuk dapatkan sensory input yang banyak pada kanak-kanak. Sebab macam kita, even kita yang dewasa pun, kita dengar lagu kita boleh terus hafal. Berbanding kita baca dan kita memang takkan hafal pun benda tu. That's the thing, the interesting about music. Because music, bunyi tu semua akan membantu hearing input, akan membantu visual input, also vestibular and proprioception and all that lah. So semua benda-benda ni memang sangat membantu untuk anak-anak dalam perkembangan sensori mereka lah.
So
Lagi
you talk about messy play. Of course, messy play is a very I call it very
messy thing lah.
term.
Difficult to clean up back.
Because back in those days, my time, we at the back of the house we play with, you know, dirt and mud, right? Of course, in city is a very different situation, right? So you suggested flour, you suggested foam,
whipping cream, foam.
Okay, so those are the things. At least I think it's safe for children. Kalau termakan pun tak apalah. But what if children don't want? Like, you know, I don't like to play with flour. So should I be worried?
Maybe your child ada something, memang tak minat pada sesuatu benda macam tu lah. So maybe dengan kanak-kanak ni kita sebenarnya kena try and error. Banyak sangat try and error. Sebab tak semua benda kanak-kanak tu suka. Kanak-kanak A ni suka, kanak-kanak B ni mungkin tak suka macam tu. So memang kita akan try and error, gunakan pelbagai texture, pelbagai colours. Dengan mereka, mainan colours dan juga texture adalah satu benda yang penting untuk tarik dia punya minat untuk bermain. Sebab ada benda yang mainan tu mungkin tak minat. Dia macam, mungkin kanak tu tak minat, mungkin sebab terlalu susah untuk dia dan kita reduce dia punya difficulty of level dia macam tu.
Right. Okay. So I think good suggestion for now. Go take a walk at the stairs.
Yes.
Good exercise as well. You know.
Yeah.
However many stairs, but don't do that. One shot lah, huh? Let's start with one flight of stairs. Okay.
Maybe 1 to 2 step of the stairs. It's okay lah, as long they expose with the stairs. Lepas tu boleh juga macam nak bagi interaktif sikit, kita bagi mainan, suruh dia kutip benda, dia kena turun dan naik juga. In the same time, exercise untuk dia.
Okay. Now that you mentioned, right, how about for children who loves to run?
Who love?
To run, because just now you mentioned there are children like, you know, constantly need to like dash everywhere. What would you suggest?
Sorry, is it a durian?
No, they run. They run. That means they can't sit still. They constantly running about.
Oh, they tends to running around all that. That's one because the child sebenarnya cuba dapatkan input for their proprioception and vestibular. That's why the child cannot sit still. So dia akan lari mana-mana saja yang dia suka. So untuk macam tu, cara dia adalah dengan bagikan calming strategy pada dia. Calming strategy pada dia, kita boleh hug dia, buatkan bear hug pada dia. Ataupun kita boleh gunakan heavy weighted blanket yang berat sikit. Itu adalah salah satu calming strategy for them lah untuk kurangkan dia punya behavior untuk lari. Sebab biasanya budak-budak suka lari, suka jumping ni memang dia akan ada problem dengan sensory issue yang melibatkan vestibular dan juga proprioception dia.
I see. Now I know.
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who are actually watching us live, if you have a question for Alia, you can feel free to share on the live chat. Otherwise, I will quickly do our advertisement again. If you would like to have the slides prepared by Alia on information and sensory processing disorder, please fill in the link form. I also shared the link in the live chat. So please do that. So then we'll be able to send a copy of those information over to you. If you have any questions for Alia, you can feel free to actually type in a group chat, or if not, you can always contact us We do have about 10 more minutes.
Or maybe if some
Yeah.
ada parents yang nak tahu benda tajuk-tajuk yang lain, mungkin diorang boleh suggestkan pada kita jugalah.
Okay, can. Because we intend to do this at least once a month.
Yeah.
So basically to increase awareness and provide information to our parents. Things that you can do at home. We know that sometimes some things are actually very minor. Like for example, my daughter doesn't like, first time on the beach, I terperanjat tau. It's like I put her down on the beach. She
Suddenly angkat kaki.
and then become monkey, like refuse to step on the beach. So that kind of like, panic. But good thing is she got over it after probably our second trip. I purposely make, because I love beaches. So it's like if my daughter doesn't like beach,
maybe the first time because dia tak pernah expose pada beach. That's why dia terus angkat kaki.
Yeah,
Sebab itu adalah defense mechanism untuk dia.
Yeah, and I think she doesn't like, how sand sometimes get into our
skin. Ada tajam-tajam.
So I think it's that kind of like, but I panicked, to be very honest. When I first saw that, I panicked. Luckily, nothing much to worry about. Okay, there's a question from Lee Kwan. Where to buy the weighted blanket in KL?
Actually, weighted blanket ni ada banyak yang jual dekat dalam macam contoh Shopee semua dia ada jual. Tapi yang itu biasanya dia akan jual dekat kedai-kedai yang ada rehabilitation punya kedai.
Okay, we have a few here.
Yes.
You are in SS15 Subang Jaya. A few rehabilitation.
Otherwise dekat daripada luar negara juga ada. Last time I pernah jumpa lah, ada dekat Australia I think, dia punya IG dia ada jual. Cuma that's one quite pricey a bit because from luar negara lah.
Right. Okay. There's a question from Christopher. So far you have recommending things that can be done at home and DIY materials. How about toys? I have seen many toys on Shopee, sensory toys. What do you think about that?
Actually, sensory toys ni dekat Shopee memang banyak. Memang sangat membantu. Tapi kalau kita just nak macam, kalau contohnya memang kita perlukan yang spesifik yang recommended by your occupational therapy, that's why maybe you need to buy lah. Tapi kalau macam kita just nak encourage dia punya sensory, nak exposekan the child to the sensory activity, you can try benda-benda yang ada dekat rumah, benda-benda yang ada dekat sekeliling kita. That's why it's more convenient untuk kita, lagi senang untuk kita gunakan macam tu.
Right, so we don't really need?
Actually we don't really need too much using yang sensory punya daripada kedai-kedai ni lah. Tapi boleh je kalau ada macam intent nak beli, nak cuba, it's okay as long not tak macam mana, dia boleh pakai pada semua anak-anak yang lain nanti. Sebab sensory ni tak semua budak-budak autism sahaja yang ada. Kadang-kadang yang budak-budak without diagnosis of autism also boleh ada. Sebab ada satu research ni dia katakan 5 hingga 10% kanak-kanak tanpa autism, tanpa diagnosis autism mengalami sensory processing disorder. Sebab actually sensory processing disorder ni adalah satu payung yang besar. So dia akan ada campur pelbagai isu ataupun pelbagai diagnosis yang akan terjadi pada kanak-kanak tersebut.
Right. Okay, cool. What material used as weight? I think this is referring to the weighted blanket. What material do they actually normally use, I think?
Normally used for the weight, kita akan gunakan kita boleh guna contohnya dumbbell. Tapi dumbbell jangan yang terlalu berat. Tapi kita kan ada jual yang dumbbell 1 kilo.
Oh, you mean like sandbag?
Sandbag ataupun dumbbell atau sandbag lah, macam yang ringan punya. Sebab kanak-kanak dia punya muscle dia tak develop banyak lagi macam orang dewasa yang dia boleh angkat 10 kilo, 20 kilo, itu tak boleh lagi lah. Dia just smart yang the simple one, sandbag.
Okay, okay, cool. Right. Right. So we have 5 more minutes. So if there's any more questions, feel free to share while I do our promo. For
Yeah.
those of you, for those of you who are not aware, right? We do workshops every week. Yeah, almost every week, lah, huh? Almost every week. And we do have an upcoming special education basic course starting 15 August. There's actually 4 series in that series of special education basic course. We will cover things on awareness, your role, early intervention, as well as early identification and early intervention strategies. So that is 4 separate sessions. You can choose to sign up all 4 or just choose to sign up 1. If you really think that you know the introduction, you just want to learn the strategies, feel free to do that. And this Sunday we do have an optometrist who's coming in to share with us tips on optimal eye health, especially for our children with special needs. Because our children with special needs, maybe they have difficulty in telling us something wrong with their eyes, they're not comfortable. So what can parents or even caregivers do in order to take care of the eye health as well? Okay, Dashini, from the point, there's one more question, Dashini, from the point of OT, what would be the focus for a child who is having difficulty in initiating handwriting by her own, because the child is always seeking for hand over hand prompt? That means I assume it's like someone to hold the hand. Is it something to do with confidence level?
Yeah, that's one. Kalau budak tu dia memang suka hand on hand prompting, that maybe kita kena upgradekan dia punya level a bit, which is kita cuba untuk dia belajar menulis dengan kita bagi sedikit positive reinforcement pada dia. Contohnya kita bagi star ataupun kita macam suggest pada dia, okay, if you do this one, I can give you a toys yang you nak, macam tu. So melalui reinforcement macam tu akan membantu kanak-kanak ni punya motivation.
Right. So basically gradually level them up lah, because now they can really write. Then you want to encourage them to do on their own. I was recently doing a course on ABC. So they talk about you must be very clear at the front first, otherwise it becomes
yes, difficult to at the other part.
Yeah, you write this sentence finish, then you get a star up front.
Yes.
Right? Not while the children was actually having tantrums and being upset and not wanting to write. So that's something that you can do. Next, we have a question from Lee Guan. My boy has SPD. He can stand and watch the IKEA clear glass elevator going up and down for hours. He likes to see how the mechanism work. May I know what category is that?
That one maybe they like the things yang moving. Biasanya kalau kanak-kanak yang suka naik elevator atau tengok kereta yang banyak dekat luar, that's mean the child suka benda yang moving. That's one because of the visual input. So bila dia suka pada satu benda tu, kita try untuk bagi aktiviti yang berkaitan dengan visual. Contohnya kita bawa dia dalam bilik gelap, lepas tu kita keluarkan satu gambar macam contohlah kita guna projector kan. Lepas tu kita keluarkan ikan, seekor ikan. So dia kena fokus pada one thing only. Kalau dia terlalu banyak distraction akan mengganggu dia punya visual input tu.
Okay, but like in this case, let's say he can stand there for hours. So what would you suggest? Do it at home? Like, do we spend like what, at least 10 minutes a day for the child to do the activity ke macam mana?
Kalau memang dia terlalu suka sangat, maybe kita boleh distractkan dia dengan benda-benda lain jugalah. Termasuk kita bagi distraction dengan benda yang dia suka, yang contohnya mungkin dia suka finger spinning. So kita bagi dia sekali untuk dia naik elevator, that one, that's it. Then we reset them dengan benda lain.
Okay.
So jangan terlalu bagi anak tu pada satu benda tu terlalu lama lah sampai berjam. Nanti dia akan mengganggu kita je punya occupation juga.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Lee Kuan said yes, he loves elevator, escalator, train, bus, etc. So you are right. He loves all the moving
The
stuff.
moving things.
Okay. Dashni asked additional reinforcement reward applied for the handwriting as mentioned, but this issue was prolonging for months. What would be the root of the issue? Interesting. Talking about the hand prompt to actually do.
Prompting.
So this issue has been there for months. So what would you recommend to phase out that hand prompt, other than rewarding them when they're able to complete it on their own? What other suggestions? Could there be any possible other issues?
Maybe it's have other issue like she want attention. Have you tried macam suruh you punya anak tu untuk tulis dengan orang lain? Sebab sometimes bila dia dengan parents, dia akan nak pada attention parents tu. That's why dia akan manja, akan nak parents tu bantu dia untuk menulis. Tapi sebenarnya kalau kita tak tengok, kita suruh orang lain yang tengokkan, mungkin dia boleh tulis sebenarnya. That's why kita kena explore a bit kalau ada yang isu yang macam ni. Sometimes kalau bukan dengan parents, bagi dengan orang yang dia tak kenal. Contohnya macam dia punya kawan-kawan ke, atau explorekan dia dengan kawan-kawan macam tu.
Okay. So for Dashni, try reward system, right? That's what Alia proposed, and check whether is it because she wants your attention, because maybe they just want mommy sitting next to me,
And help her like
rather than doing something else, and I'm all alone and mommy never say I do a good job.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for being with us today, this afternoon. Thank you, Alia. I hope you enjoy your first session of an afternoon with Alia. Okay, Michelle actually asked, has it been a norm that someone holds her hand while writing? Santa said, my son comfortable and well behaved with teachers at home different. Yeah, I do agree. Sometimes children behave differently with different adults with them. Again, they probably just want our attention. So
yes.
Please, Lee Kuan and Dashni, do try out different issues, different ways of approaching. A lot of try and error. Seriously, it's really a lot of try and error.
Really a lot of try and error with the child.
Yeah, to really figure out what's actually, is it because you really do not know how to do it, or is it something else that is underneath that we need to address? All right, thank you very much, everyone, for being with us this afternoon. We are glad that you are here with us, and we hope to see you again in our next month series. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.